Hello, beautiful soul. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Jessica with Soul Evolution Journey. And so this is more of a explanation to something I didn't understand at the time, and kind of a documentary and a step-by-step process of what a real transformation, spiritual confusion, enlightenment, sudden change in everything that you've possibly thought, and you suddenly believe in everything. And it's so beautiful, but it's so scary. It's a blessing, a gift, but a curse at the same time. Well, we feel as is a curse because something we don't understand ourselves, or we might not know exactly how, but we just know. We know that if we do this, if we follow this, there's something so amazing out there. It's beyond even words how happy and just how much you know that it's there and you can have it. But then you have to shed everything that you knew, everything that you believed in, the convention dealing with certain systems and how they will believe, or basically criticize or judge based on the limiting beliefs of this little box that society is in, and the number one reason that the world is increasingly getting more chaotic, more violent, more just, you see it everywhere. And as a person that doesn't even watch the news, I felt it. Like, it's just like, lately where I live, I just have noticed the most, I mean, it's just the weirdest things, but I felt such intense, like, this, it's getting bad, it's getting worse. And just the violence, and it's definitely something that I can't even hide from. Because normally, you hear about stuff like that on the news, and you hear about violence and all that stuff. But just the other day, I went to the store, and I'm like, well, it's going to be like 15 minutes. I'm just going to run inside, and then I'm going to come back out, and it'll be, a quick trip. And it was having a great day. I've been going through the transformational process myself. I didn't understand it. It was as soon as it was like day and night. Like, I totally was black and white. Nothing metaphysical, nothing. I mean, I didn't even know what esoteric meant. Actually, this was more of like just, less than a year ago, actually, because my awakening was at the beginning of 2021. And I searched for answers. Like, I knew I couldn't tell anyone because, of course, my logical, ego, mental, control freak mind was like, no, this is not happening to you. And if it is happening to you, then you're going to have to figure out exactly why and prove it in a way that is logical. So basically, try to prove the impossible. So it's like, you search for answers. You search for, especially when you have these, you have these gifts. You know that there's so much more out there. You know that it's, it's going to be, you feel it. It's going to be a hard journey. And it's going to be a beautiful journey at the same time. But just, I think mostly as my own personal experience of going through it was it doesn't fucking matter what anyone else thinks. It's not their life. It's your life. And for too long, people like us, light workers, empaths, highly sensitive, just compassionate people that have this intense drive to want to just be be so much more than just this mundane life of a common just structured life. You want to be free. You want to just kind of go with the flow. I feel like most of us go through this really tough journey of having to be in control, having to understand. A lot of it goes back to the old soul, and it's not. It doesn't matter what you believe in. Astrology is a way to, and that's what I found was my logical way to try to prove the impossible. I mean, it's so that's how I was introduced to astrology, because it was something that was scientific, and I was in pharmacy school. I had a lot of science background before, so it was like, but the one thing I never science as in like medical science was like I never liked the section of like outer space and stuff like that. It wasn't that type of science that I really like. It was just very odd. I mean, like I went through this process of like, okay, I'm getting all this stuff and I don't know why. So I can't talk to anybody about it because they'll think I'm crazy, because I think I'm going crazy because I don't understand it. And then it's like, so you're just like getting all of this stuff at once and you don't understand what's happening. And then you start to understand and you start to want to believe it, but then you want to have that connection with the people that you're around. So then you become consumed almost with continuing to try to confirm or validate what you just have to kind of let happen. But we often just keep searching and just dive down that rabbit hole of like, why, what am I, like, what am I supposed to do? It's like, I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed about the other videos and this one probably too, because the other ones that I have coming out are going to be way different, and it's going to be more like, different things that I've done throughout the process to get to where I am now, and like how the law of attraction and manifestation and truly letting go really has worked in so many areas of my life. And I've lived a life of, I've had so many different things in my life happen that most people are like, it would have to be a book almost. And I never really gave myself enough credit for it. I never thought it was that extraordinary because, it was something I was more of ashamed of because it was different. It was something that, I survived it, and I had like the odds were against me in so many different ways. And it was like, like basically, just, oh, like, it's so weird. Sorry, guys. So basically, it was just like, I'm with the people that I associated with as family was far from what a actual family should make a foundation around, or the principle of love. Base the principle of love around the aspect of what my childhood was like. But it made me into who I am. It made me I was so different. Like, and I look back now and I'm like, I was always different. Now like that I'm embracing this, more mystical, esoteric, just, all of the, the basically, the mystical side of of abilities that people just they don't understand. And people unfortunately bash what they don't understand. They have to try to, you know, mock, or, if they can't see it, they can't prove it, it's not real. And in a way, we can all relate to that before our awakening, because in a way I can. So I guess it's really just trying to understand. And one of the tips that I'll give you right here, and this video is going to be all over the place, but it was just something that I have to come out here and say. It's just like, on the other side of like truly understanding that you're going to have everything that you fucking want once you do these things. Like, I mean, and it's happening all in my life. And it's like, even through the, kind of like, I don't know what is next. And I normally would be freaking the fuck out right now. But I'm not, because I have to trust. And like, I just had to like really do these different techniques to like, help myself let go of control. There was so much control I had, and just I had to let loose. I had to like, like that's why they say, there's so many things that, the divination and different things and the transformation process, because what I have evolved into is, accepting that, I have psychic abilities, accepting that, I have these things that I have to embrace. And I even have interpretations of things that, go back to like, and I'm gonna come out with this later. It's kind of crazy. So if you're anyone that's a Native American or knows anyone that's Native American, and that can't really find their like they know that there's Native American, but they don't, or just somebody that doesn't know their ethnicity really, like they kind of are associated with just saying white, but obviously they're not white all the way. And no one is, just one race. We're all kind of, mixing a little bit. But anyways, being younger, I was always so dark, and there was a lot of Native American in my family, and I knew that, but it was just like, going to foster care, and then like my grandmother raising us, and then my mom just in her crazy little world, and just the brokenness in the family dynamic, like it was, and still kind of has been hard to put together, like, because something's been calling me to like to look into like ancestry, like your ancestors, like my app lately has been like it's the things like you got to pay attention to, and there's just so many ways that, because I'm telling you, there was a time when I'm like, why is my intuition telling me to do this? Why do I have to do this? Because this is hard to do. You know what I mean? And it's like you don't want to do it, but you need to trust, because if you don't trust, if you don't do this, you're never going to do. It's never going to be the right time. You're never going to have the answers. You're never going to have that clear, yeah, this is what you are. You are a light worker. You are a starseed. You are, a, motivational speaker. You are a magical, mystic. There's so many different things that you could be, but there's never going to be, you're never going to know exactly until you step out there and you accept it. And you're like, you know what? I'm not ordinary. And that's why all these obstacles keep happening, because I'm not meant to walk or to live the ordinary life. So I'm going to continue to meet resistance and challenge after challenge after challenge until I accept my abilities, my uniqueness, and face my purpose. And it'll never be the right time. You'll never have all the answers. one thing that I had to do is I had to heal myself completely. Oh my gosh, like I have to be completely this, like normal person. Well, no, I'm not a normal person. Like you don't heal to be like something. You just heal to feel, to evolve, to elevate. It's not to heal, to switch or to change the person you are. Is to become the person you are. It's to just release and embrace that magic within you, and then you know the power. You see why you went through everything that you went through, and it's no longer a burden. It's it's more like a it's more like a reward. It's more like I survived that shit. Like, that was crazy. You know what I mean? And then you realize that there's so much more out there. And that's why you were meant to be, and you were meant to go through those things. No matter if it was just one or two incidents that just kind of like, made you just really have to, and it's different on, for everyone. No one person's story is, crazy or worse and better, or just no judgment on that. Like everyone's journey is unique. Everyone's gifts are unique. But coming from somebody that knows how hard, I mean, from the nights that you're just like, I can't sleep. I don't know how I'm gonna go to this job. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Like now I'm so like I went to the dark night of the soul. We're gonna go into later videos about like different details of the techniques and stuff, and then I have some programs. And if you want to work with me personally, then I will eventually link some of my links down there to contact me directly, and I'll link my email down there as well. But if you like my energy, if you feel called to me, or if this message helps you, like this is just honestly a journey of discovery. It's a journey of coming into your power. It's a journey of someone that's been through the darkest, the trenches of life, and still was able to find compassion enough to want to help other people. That's what this is about. It's about not internalizing the actions of other people. It's about stepping into your true power because of who you really are. And too often we carry shame because that is not something that we believe we are. We're like, oh no, that's not something that I can be. I'm not that special. I mean, I've never, look where I came from. Look at this, crazy traumatic background. Who will ever understand me? I'm just this, broken, burdened person that's never going to, be any, you just get stuck in carrying your family's burdens, your family's mistakes, generational past lives, but sometimes in this life. And in this life, you could be playing out events in other lives as well. I believe that. I would not have believed anything like this, like I said, about 11 months ago. Nope. I would have thought you were crazy. So as someone coming from both aspects of it, you have to shed that ego. And if you know that you have a calling, and you know that you need, because it's like your soul is not going to stop pulling you. It's not going to stop. I mean, I know I went through a few, and we'll go into my story later. It's pretty, I went through a lot of different, like, nope, this is not it. This can't be happening. Like, But my awakening was very sudden. It was very, and then I started getting connected. I even went to Costa Rica with, you know, they're popular, like that's like who I started following when I first started going through my awakening, like Victor Roder about empaths, because I didn't know what I was going through. And so like watching his videos that I actually felt, it helped me. It helped me to understand that I wasn't alone and that I wasn't going crazy. So, you know, and then I was just called to kind of doc. I didn't know why. And right now I'm literally in my pajamas and I'm just chilling right here, you know, in my bedroom on my laptop, not a professional video at all, but it's authentic and it's just me. This is one of my last authentic, like, you know, just like a chill video, you know what I mean? Like the other ones are going to be more content based, more, you know, professional style, but I just wanted to come out and tell you a little bit about my personal journey, because that is a journey of a very broken little girl. That it started so young, but there was an awareness so big that I never had a chance to think like a child. So then, like, you know, being so young, I tried to still save everybody, and having and learning and understanding different like aspects of yourself can truly help transform you. It can save you. It can make you be exactly who and what you're meant to be. And when you're aligned with your purpose and you're aligned with your mission, that's the true happiness. That's the true, you know, just like free, peace, light feeling. Because you know, even in the unknown of which direction or what's next, you know by trusting you're on the right journey. And you know that by what you're putting out there, what you've been through, what you've overcame, that was something, and you know exactly what you're supposed to do. You just don't know exactly how to approach it. And that's understandable. That was definitely something I went through as well. And I had to accept, I had to do, so some tips here is meditation. I had to start doing things that I never did before, just to, you know, help me through the process, because trying to ignore the gifts, it was not going to work. Like there was just, and it played out in very many aspects of my life in the last few months. And like I said, we'll go through a documentary of, and just as, if you look at my other videos, like I was going to delete them, like I said, but I was called not to. Spirit told me not to. He said that, you know, that was the first steps in the journey. Like, you know, immediately, like I was just so like called to just, you know, I have to like, you know, say what's going on. And like, I was just so called to help and share my voice, but it's like, share my voice. Like, why would I want to do that? Like, why? And so then it's like all this healing and all this like self work, this shadow work. And it was like, I was forced to do it. I didn't know what any of it was before that. Like I had never heard of it before, but it was just like, it was all playing out in what I was doing. It was because it was time for me to open up my eyes, to not let people hurt me anymore, to open my eyes to see that I was trying to save and help the wrong people, the people that were meant to be a part of my life to evolve me into the person that I am today, but not for the people that I needed to try to save, because it was at my own detriment. So basically, we're going to go into a lot of different topics on my channel, especially my journey. So you'll get a lot of the, you know, a little bit of, oh, there's always something crazy going on in my life. So, you know, if you feel called, if you love my energy, because there's going to be a lot of different things that I'm going to do on here, because in my journey of like the last few months, like I just have had like all these downloads, all this like knowledge. I have like this divination tools, and I get answers through like music, and then it plays out, and like, I've just practiced like my intuition, and like, and just trying to like focus on intention and manifestation and law of attraction. And I'm telling you, like, I'm living proof that whenever you are going to wake up, whenever spirit wants, God, whoever you believe in, when they want you to wake up, it's going to happen. And I really do believe that the energy shifts, and more people are waking up now, and they're going to need help. And that's what my program's going to be, is more of the healing program. This is more of my like documentary. So like the packages and the different things that I offer down below are going to be more of like, different aspects that you want to know. Like, astrology can tell you a lot about yourself. It did me. It actually is what helped me understand and accept who I was and embrace it and be like, you know what, it's pretty fucking cool. You know what I mean? So I'm like, it's a journey of shedding. It's a journey of some nights like just not wanting, just wanting it to go away, wanting it to be normal, just wanting to be normal, but you can't hide from it. If you're being called, if this resonates with you, and trust me, this is just me being my authentic self in my night clothes and just kind of, sharing this right now. But like, seriously, it's going to be a beautiful journey, and I hope that you join me on it. And thank you for watching, if you've watched this far. And if you feel called to subscribe, comment below. I know it's, but I want this to be as, real. I mean, all I've ever known was how to be real. And I never could understand why people were fake, even at, so young. I just had a different perspective, and I feel like a lot of other people out there have too. So then that in turn, they're just that they're not understanding of who they are, internalizes into illnesses and pains and different things, as have in my life. A lot of different things, like to my back being broke, like, I mean, just all different types of crazy situations. Like, I mean, we'll get into it, but it's like, I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my life. But I'm telling you, the worst that I've ever felt was when I was trying to dismiss who I was. When I was trying to not think that I was, possibly not from here. Maybe I'm sent or awakened to have a different purpose. Maybe I'm meant to be, I know I'm going to help the world, I'm going to heal the world, and it's going to be amazing. And I know I'm going to inspire a lot of people. This is just kind of what I went through, but it's like, but I have to have the answer. I got to know exactly how, why, when, what to do, organize everything. And it's like, no, you don't. You just have to be you. And you have to understand that that is really, honestly, the only thing that you are required to do is to truly step into your power, and you'll be so amazed with how everything does really come to you. And I'm telling you, I watched a lot of different videos right, after my awakening of like, because, it was like once you're awakened to a purpose, you're like, I got to live my purpose, but I got to, make money and live in, in my purpose and stuff like that. And it's like, there's a different method. There's going to be a lot of people out there that tell you that you have to just do it a certain way. But then my belief is that every individual person that has a spiritual purpose, or, any other purpose that resonates with this, that can, get guidance or possibly awaken through watching this. Because, sometimes, different videos, things pop up, synchronicities are there for a reason. They're, planting the seeds, And it's up to that person if they're going to allow them to grow, and if they're going to dismiss them or embrace them. So this is going to be kind of me talking about my history and to new different knowledge that I have discovered, and then we're going to go into how to truly transform yourself and to be in that goddess energy, that masculine energy, that power of you, and to be like, yeah, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna tell you how crazy those videos looked, but that was real. Like my journey, all of it was so, I mean, it is something that, like, because I didn't believe in anything like that. So it made me, and it took a lot for me to do it because I was so in my head. I was so ego-minded, so analytical. So it's like, it is a tough process. But once you just surrender to it, which I didn't do it first. Trust me, it's it. And it's good. I mean, I'm laughing because I feel like you guys are resonating so much, laughing as well, because you've possibly been through it. You've been in that bathroom, you've been on that floor, like, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do with myself because I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to talk to anybody because they're going to think I'm crazy, and I just need someone that's like me. But you really don't, maybe you don't have that many people, or you just don't think that people will ever understand it because it's even out there for you. So that's the things that I kind of went through as well. So, all right, with the ramble, that's over. Again, this is Jessica with Soul Evolution Journey. Please hit that subscribe button if you would like to hear or have more videos and notifications whenever I post. I will be posting more. And this time, I know in other videos, I'm like, I'm going to post again, I'm going to post more. But it was like, I would kind of go through more stages because it was like, I always thought that I was in my power. But like this time, it's like, I know. And it's like, there's no going back because of the things that I did in my life. And it's like, if you want to know the secrets, if you truly want to do and know how to manifest and be and embrace the true you, then, I'm going to link my contact information below. And then I'm going to, basically we can go through different approaches on how to basically get yourself to that point, because I don't want you to stay stuck in that point of like, I'm just living this day to day. I don't even want to get out of bed. Like, I mean, it'll put you to that point to where you're just sick, you're just drained, you're just you and you have no medical or scientific reason to be that way. It's just because you're not meant to be doing what you're doing, and you need to embrace. But it's hard, and it takes help. It takes guidance, and it takes, because not everyone's alone completely in it. But even if you're not alone in it and you feel called to, like I said, reach out to me. And my coaching for right now is going to be pretty cheap. So not like super cheap, but I'm trying out different styles because there's a lot of different things that I did, because I went through a lot of trauma, like a lot. Like there was a lot of shedding, and still currently, because there's still things like my mother, for example, is just a soulless being riddled with a meth addiction that is very hard to mourn a person that's still alive, but it's possible, and it's possible to be okay with it. It's possible to thrive past it. It's possible to get to a point where you're like, this is what it is. This is what I pray for. This is what I hope for, but this is what I know I have to set my boundaries to not allow any more hurt or pain into my life, to truly, just step into who I need to be, to release, let go of the people that don't need to be there. That's not to say maybe in a different chapter in your life, they don't come back. We don't, that could happen. Their free will to change, again, is free will. So we can't help but want to change and grow and constantly evolve and constantly do for everyone or just something to impact. And if you have that feeling, if you feel like I have to embrace who I am meant to be, I need to do this, then yeah, let's do it. And I mean, to do it now. And so basically, I'm going to link my contact information below, and I'm going to start you off with just talking to you about like um, basically different patterns in your life, or just, you know, different things that you think that you would need guidance on, because that was one thing that even before I really even knew I had abilities, I was able to see the brokenness in people at such a young age, to look past their horrible actions or their, you know, addictions, their lost souls. And I seen it at such a young age, and it's such a profound way that it really opened up my eyes. And I no one would have ever, you know, expected me to come from that, looking from the outside world, because I moved up a totally different state. Not, I mean, it's only like a few hours away, but you know, I moved away from it, and after foster care, after doing all that stuff and being introduced to that lifestyle, I was mad at Spirit. I was mad at God, because I had prayed for 7 years of my life for my mother to get us back. And when she got us back, it was, you know, drugs, chaotic lifestyle, just, and the only thing I knew to do was act ignorant to what drugs were, so they wouldn't be brought around me. But I was completely aware of what was going on the whole time. But I knew if I acted like the young innocent one and didn't, and clueless, it wouldn't be brought to me. So it was a little bit profound on how my upbringing was. So I was literally my mom's mom at 12 years old, you know, trying to keep the peace, knowing what she's doing, but trying to not let everyone else know, because I know what will happen if they do. So anyways, enough with my rant. There's so much more to this wonderful journey that you are going through, that I went through, and we all will continue to go through. So one tip I need to tell you, because I totally feel that you need to hear it, is you'll never know exactly. You'll never have all the answers. You just got to start somewhere. And it's going to go with you as, well, that's a little, my computer just dinged, so that's definitely confirmation there. But I had to accept that, recently, that I was a medium, and that I received messages, and I was like, that is so esoteric. That is so out there. Like, there's no way. Like, and then, like, even to some of the things that I've never known my history, my ethnicity, you know, has always been up in the air, because, you know, we knew we were Native American, but there was no, like, links to it back. And, like, I got and I'm still rambling. Okay, guys, sorry for the ramble. Next subjects will be about different guidance messages, how to listen to spirit. And then, you know, if you guys want any type of videos that, because, you can also watch the other videos below, but, you know, that's totally fine. That's the things that I was going through at that moment. And some of those were dark night of the soul. Some of those were like, I'm totally in my power. Then it's like the ebb and flow, but it's like, until you truly embrace and you truly, truly commit to it, commit to transformation, commit to wanting a better life, freedom, you know, abundance, everything you could ever want, it is possible. And this is coming from somebody that is just as ordinary as you. You know, it's when you know and believe, and you use the practices